Wow, so exotic.
Well, to Melbourne now, and the massive fire that ripped up the side of a new high-rise apartment building that's got some people asking if our apartments are safe.
2:30 a.m. A fire ignites on the second floor of this Melbourne high-rise apartment building. Within minutes, it blazes skyward to the 21st floor.
As soon as we came out, we saw the flames all down the side, and it was just horrible, really. Saw people crying as well, like people that were in those sort of apartments.
More than 300 residents were evacuated. Remarkably, paramedics report there were only a handful of minor injuries.
We were there quick smart. Every vehicle I could possibly see was an ambulance or paramedic or anything like that, so they did very well.
Thankfully, fires like this are rare, but with medium and high density living fast becoming the norm for many Australians, some experts believe we're underprepared.
What happened in the building with this fire propagating outside through the balconies upwards is something that should have never happened.
Around 3 million Aussies live in apartments. A recent study found that 15% of owners reported a lack of or defective fire safety measures.
If we design the building correctly, according to the ways in which we know how to design buildings, and we approve the building correctly, then a fire of this nature should never happen.
So, with apartments a big part of our housing future, are our buildings up to scratch?
Well, to help answer that question, we're talking to Matthew Wright from Fire Protection Association Australia. Matthew, with more and more people living on top of each other, are our buildings safe enough?
Well, that's a question that's confronting the Australian community as we do go into that trend, guys. And I think we have a code and standards which are the law, and if those rules are followed, in most cases we're going to get the outcomes that we saw today. I think that many people evacuating through a building and not having any fatalities, given the type of fire we saw, is a good outcome.
So the fact that there were no fatalities, does that mean it was the building and the way it has been built that was responsible for that, or is it because apparently there was a fire drill only last week, apparently?
Right, that's the way to answer that is that fire safety is really an outcome of a holistic approach, and a whole lot of factors need to come into play. So, yes, it certainly helped that people had been practising their fire drills and had taken some responsibility for their actions in relation to being aware of what to do in the building. But fire protection involves a number of elements coming together. So certainly the detection system that arose them and gave them early warning, and the sprinkler system that helped suppress the fire from getting into people's apartments, and the responding fire brigade, of course, all need to come together to get the outcome that we saw today.
And Matthew, more and more of these high-rise apartments going up all around the country, are we going to see more of these types of blazes?
Peter, I think that's probably inevitable because just by pure weight of numbers. But also, I think the other change here within the community is Australians aren't really used to living in high-density living like this, and maybe aren't so good at responding to some of the cues to evacuate or respond in emergency. But there are some challenges there, there's no doubt.
Well, if someone does live in a high-rise like this and has concerns about fire safety, who should they talk to, or what should they do about it?
Well, the first thing they should probably do is talk to their immediate family about having some awareness of the issues, but then probably speak to the building management about what they have in place. If they don't get satisfaction there and they're really concerned that maybe something's happening that isn't appropriate, then they need to speak to either the brigade, wherever they may live, or the local council to get direction.
Well, we appreciate you speaking to us about it. Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you.
Time to see what's making news around the globe.